In this episode, we're going to be making what I call the sofa snacker. It's basically a box with cutouts for 2 trays, 2 sodas, and some napkins or remotes and napkins. This was a really nice project. You can really customize it to add more drinks, and the overall size is going to depend on the size of containers that you end up being able to get. I went to the local dollar store. I found some that measure approximately 7.5 by 3.5. So I made my overall board. Right now I'm working on my template so I can get an idea of how big, but my overall size was 8.5 for my one dimension, and then the other was 16 inches. So I had a piece of 16 by 8.5, and then I cut another size down to that, table saw miter, so I'll cut it down to shape for the bottom. As you can see, I have my layout there. Now I'm going to take all my pieces and transfer onto my top piece so I can see where I need to cut out all my negative space I'll have. I'm using these cans because they're the same width, 3 inches in diameter as a soda can. Using a popsicle stick for the slot for the napkins or TV remotes. And those are the bins I found from the dollar store. They're plastic and they were $1.25 for 2. So if they get messed up or really dirty, I can replace them very easy. Now at a drill press, we're going to use a 3-inch bit to cut out the spots for the cans or bottles. If you don't have a drill press, just use your drill with a 3-inch bit. Take your time. Now I'm going to cut out the area for the bins. I'm using a plunge router here with a guide to get my lines nice and straight. I don't like to cut too close to the lines just in case somehow I get some walk or movement. I don't want it going toward my cut area. I can always sand it or route it down later and bring it closer and more even. If you don't have a plunge router like this, you can always just drill on near the corners, not too close of course, and use a saw to cut it. Just try to use your guide to keep it nice and straight. As you can see here, I'm using my square as my guide on it, and I'm taking multiple passes so I'm not trying to hog at the whole depth at one time. I do recommend if your saw or router has any kind of dust extraction to use it. It makes it so much easier when you're cutting, especially multiple passes, to see where you're going and keeping a much better, cleaner edge. Now I'm just going to use the router table here to clean up and square everything off a little more. I'm just going to creep toward everything and do some fitting and get everything to fit. And once it does, I can stop. Of course, if you don't have a router table like this, you can always use a sander or even just a piece of sandpaper and a block or a file to just smooth the edges. I made my side pieces 3 inches because of the size of my bins. That may vary for yours. Here I'm just going to measure, cut, and fit all the other side pieces and do a dry fitting for my project. I'm going to make a handle on the front and the back. I just took 1.25 inch Forstner bit and cut out a hole on each side. Now I'm going to use my jigsaw to cut out the middle. I'm just going to go ahead and brad nail it together. And here we have our finished product. Thank you.